Last week on Knights of the Rolled Table.
You have just come over the hill to view the town of Respite, which is clearly under attack. You see the McIntyre family.
Well, fancy to see you. Thanks for joining us.
What's happened? Why are they all attacking you?
Where should we try to help out?
You go help the Callahans.
Coach goes in and kicks that door open. Two Gnolls just jump out. So you smash down on it twice and it stops moving. There's no more Gnolls in that cottage.
There's no more.
Maya goes with Sora, so she rushes over to the cottage to check on her family. The rest of you hear a scream. Inside the cottage, Kevin is there laying on the ground, but Sindle is nowhere to be found.
No!
So we pick up where we left off. There's various fires and chaos in the town of Respite. Part of the fateful wall has been knocked down, and the 8-year-old Sindle is nowhere to be seen. Sora, her mom, dashes out the hole in the wall and looks for any sign of her, but the Gnolls that took her are already out of sight. They're not in view of the meadow that's out there. She can't see any direct sign of them. She can kind of see tracks of roughly where they are going. You're able to revive Kevin, her father, and her little brother Wick is okay. And Captain basically recounts to you,
They were waiting in ambush. They were here. They were in our house. Gnolls don't ambush. They're not quiet creatures. They were waiting for us. Like they were in control. And as soon as we walked in, they jumped at me from every side. Something was going on.
And basically they jumped him from all sides. And then there's basically like a hole in the back of their house that goes back to right where the wall went. So they had an easy exit point that wasn't visible from the square that a bunch of Gnolls could get in and out of. Sora is in kind of a difficult state, as you imagine like a mom would be with her daughter missing, because she obviously wants to just like run out there and chase her, but she kind of recognizes just like her alone going after these Gnolls right now is probably not the best moment, but she clearly is intending to go like in moment. She's like grabbing things and kind of stuffing things in a bag and preparing and kind of looking to you and indicating to you, like without asking you directly, I'm going to need help. And essentially, like you have the sense, as you probably would, that might be a suicide mission, but she's going on it regardless. No one's going to stop her. And she has another silent exchange with Kevin that you saw them do earlier. You've seen them do this maybe a few times, but like when they sort of indicated Sora was going to go help the family and Kevin was going to go back to the home, you can kind of see this very close interchange they have where they're able to communicate a lot in a few moments. And part of what's being acknowledged is that Kevin's going to need to stay here to protect Wick and to protect the town and to start, in case the Gnolls come back, to protect the people there. And Sora's definitely leaving because nobody can stop her. What are your thoughts? What are you doing in those moments?
Listen, Sora, like we just fought off a ton of Gnolls. Why do they keep taking Sindle?
Sora, as you're saying this, is just like, you're like having to kind of follow her around as she's like running around her cottage, stuffing things in a bag, getting ready to go. And she says, Sindle is, well, you've noticed that Sindle is special. She has powers, and Sindle is not Kevin and my biological child. She's placed in our protection.
Intrigue.
Yes.
There it is.
Maya would actually pull Kevin aside.
So actually, if you go out to look for Kevin, you find him with Donovan, the barkeep, from the very first episode.
Donnie.
And they're speaking to each other, and they have kind of like a specific gesture between them. They're doing that kind of like Roman handshake where they kind of like grab each other's elbows and kind of lock forearms. And it definitely looks like that means something. And you can see them kind of like, as you approach, they're kind of whispering, talking to each other. They seem to be planning. And
Donovan is saying, I'll go as fast as I can. I'll tell Lord Greenbrier of the news. He'll need to know you must stay here and protect the town and fortify the walls as much as you can. They may come back and just dispose of the bodies. You know what happens with Gnolls. We must, as quickly as we can, we must go.
Gentlemen, where are you going? Who is this Lord Greenbrier?
Lord Greenbrier. So this is a time we need to take a moment and step back and talk a little bit about where in the literal world are we. I've intentionally kept it a little bit vague in terms of like, what is this land? What's going on? And that's because I think intentionally I want us to like together improvise as much as the world is possible. So I think step by step as we go on adventures here, we want to expand the world a little bit. And at this point, big things are starting to happen and we need to define a little bit of what's going on. So here's what I'm thinking. We've loosely described this area a couple of times as the realms. And what that means is there's sort of a loose association of various kind of like territories. And each of those territories is ruled by somebody. Usually a lord of the lady, but any given territory, one might be more democratic, one might have kind of like a council, one might be like very hereditary rulership. Maybe there's a wizard in charge, maybe there's never a wizard in charge. It's different territory to territory. But there's this cluster of various realms ruled by somebody. And
not unlike Canada.
Sure. I don't know. I'm American. We don't know how Canada works.
Canada.
That's my contribution for the night.
I mean, that Justin Trudeau is steamy.
I want to see him in a wizard cape. You know what I mean?
I want to put him in some coat shorts.
What you mean.
Well, look how worldly we are. And the general sense of these territories is like the common person that hasn't had a lot of like reason to travel around a lot in their life. They know basically what the situation is in their territory, their realm, and they know who rules it and kind of what's going on. And they probably know loosely what's going on, maybe the rulers of the surrounding couple of territories that surrounds their territory, but most people don't know like what's on the other side of that next one. So if people have means to like travel a lot, they've moved around. Obviously, certain people know more than that. But the territory you're in is the land of Oakhart, and it is ruled by the family Greenbrier. I don't know if that's what I named them earlier, but now it's their name. It's official. Greenbrier, Lord Greenbrier. And so Donovan is communicating, I will go tell the guy in charge, because there's been an attack. They're going to need to know, and hopefully they will reinforce us.
Cool. Well, then I don't think I would be asking who he is, because I assume I would probably know that.
You would.
Yeah, so retconning that, I would say, come on, I do not think that your wife would be able to be stopped, but let me know if there is anything that we can do to help. If you have any idea where we should go, what can we do?
If you can go with her, she's an excellent tracker, and any help you could provide, I would be eternally grateful. You've already helped my family so much, and me, and both of us, we hate to call on you again, but if you could go with her, we'd be eternally grateful.
You are not calling, we are offering.
Thank you.
Kevin, I do have a question. You said you were there when the Gnolls ambushed you. Do you have a feeling it was anybody involved, like a higher, somebody that might have been running the show, so to speak?
It happened quickly. I didn't see much, but I've encountered Gnolls before, and they're wild, and they're beasts more than humanoids, and
this was
these were not. If someone had some means of controlling them, I wouldn't be surprised. And the way that it sounds like the battle turned when they had met their objective, that's Gnolls in their element. They attack until no one is left, and they feast on the dead. After that, they can't be moved. This is not how they work.
Quite gruesome.
Yes.
Kevin, speaking of their objective, little birdie mentioned that Sindle was not from your loins. if you will.
And ladies and gentlemen, the word loins has been used in the podcast. We've just jumped to PG. Thank you.
Well, no, it wasn't a bird. It was Sora.
Wow, way to throw her under the bus, Gravely.
Well, I mean, I think he would know that.
Both of you quiet.
Oh, sorry.
If Sora told you that, she's trusted you. She's come to trust you as much as I've trusted you.
Sorry.
Sindle is in our charge. We don't know what she is, but she was.
She a mutant?
Did you find her in the woods?
I hear there's a school for that.
Sora, is your daughter a mutant? Did you find her in the woods?
Coach.
In the inside.
You guys are outside.
Oh.
Hang on a second. Let me think about this. Sindle is not a mutant. Wait, maybe she is a mutant. Hold on. Let me make some notes.
I'm running with this.
Collectively, they communicate to you. She was given to them by Lady Titania,
My girl.
who you have all heard of because Maya probably talks about her incessantly because
Oh, you
Lady
guys, she is
Titania.
the best. She is so funny. I laugh so hard when we are together.
Wait, they're telling us this all now?
Yeah, so they probably sort of take you aside and kind of give you this briefing of like, it seems like you may need to know this. Obviously, you've seen what Sindle can do, and obviously that's probably somehow involved in what's going on.
Doesn't Titania have the best hair? It is just so beautiful.
Well,
Wow.
she was younger then. She had a different hairstyle. It was very lovely. Can we focus, actually?
Maya, I thought I was your best friend.
But it's different. I do not have a pact with you.
So
Okay.
Lady Titania is the leader of the summer court in the Feywild, and she is also Maya's warlock patron that grants her power. So that's why Maya is
There is a
buddy.
whole story involved. It involves an oversized squirrel costume. I will tell you another time. It is lovely.
So basically, Titania didn't necessarily communicate that much about what this little girl was, other than she's really important and she needs to be protected.
And
so they
rescued
have-
all the time.
to your knowledge, she has not needed rescuing until the 2 times now that she's been recently abducted.
Kevin, can I ask you one more potentially sensitive question?
Yes. Is it about my loins?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
Is Weak from your loins as
Yes, he's from my loins.
well?
Are you sure?
Yeah, well, this is awkward now. I'm fairly sure. So it's like, yes.
Okay. Just checking. You never know. Loins are kind of weird things. You never know what's going to happen.
All right, well, can we
Analogies
go?
come in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it kind of goes without saying, but we're going to go help him, right?
Yes.
Of course.
I think we should.
Good, because I already told Sora we were going to go help her. So
Okay.
that's a load off.
Well,
I am already packed.
We're wasting time.
yes, let's go.
Lyra, you don't really have a stake in this.
Look, I don't know Sindle and I don't know Sora, but there's something I haven't told you guys. Well, there's actually a lot since I just kind of met up with you. But one of the things I haven't told you is that my cousin was killed by Gnolls. Yeah. We were 10. We were down at the river fishing. While she was fishing, I was taking a nap next to her. I'm a really deep sleeper, and they came out of nowhere. She screamed, but I just rolled over because I thought that she was just struggling with a fish.
Well, night terrors are a real thing, you know.
Yeah. Anyway, I woke up and there she was, ripped apart, dismembered, mostly eaten. I almost threw up.
Why would they attack her and not you? Just leave you to sleep.
That's a great question.
And Sora is gone. So you see her leaving off. Come, let's go. And you all follow Sora
Can I tell if Lyra is telling
off
you?
off into the woods. Sure. Roll again for insight on Lyra.
17.
All right. Tell him whether that's true or not.
No, that's a lie. I think, I think there's going to be a really good reward if we find this little chick.
want to like you so bad. All right, come on. I follow the
It
trail.
was still a lovely story.
All right, so you head off. You were returning. So timeline-wise, you were coming back. This is the same day as meeting Lyra and fighting the owlbear and hanging out with the orcs and walking back here. So it's pretty close to sunset for the attack. It's starting to get dark, and you're definitely going to be journeying through the woods. So Sora keeps like a really fast pace. She tracks the gnolls off through. They don't go back to the road. They go kind of like straight into the woods from where you are. And Gravely's able to kind of keep up with her. But she's both looking for signs and tracking and moving along at like a pretty impressive pace. The rest of you are kind of just like behind. You don't really know what it is you're following, but she looks confident.
Can Gravely tell if they're going back in the direction of the orc war camp that they came from?
Yeah, they're heading generally north. Kind of off. If they were just going north, they probably would follow the road that goes that way that you guys came back on. So they're kind of like at an angle from that, but definitely going kind of in that general direction. Probably not logically back to that camp. Because like I said, you guys came back on the road and they probably would go that way. It'd be a lot faster than trucking through the forest.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure I know how to do this now. Okay.
Oh yeah, everybody everybody for like this journey in general, everybody make a stealth roll and make a perception roll as well.
Look at me go.
You know, I'm going to use my luck feat on my perception.
Ooh, okay. So you trek through the forest. You guys are all reasonably stealthy. Gravely is super stealthy, but some of you are looking around more than others and noticing things. And Sora and Gravely are both able to kind of like discern some things about what you are tracking. It looks like there's maybe 10 to 15 gnolls.
Jeez.
And you also see another set of footprints now and then that looks like somebody wearing armor. Fairly heavy person wearing armor. And gnolls do not wear armor. So that's something to consider. I think something else you probably deduce in retrospect based on kind of the rest of the day is that these gnolls were likely in that war camp. In retrospect, you remember the orcs mentioning the other furry guys that weren't orcs. And so you're definitely like collecting like, okay, that was probably them.
I'm beating myself for not putting it together.
How did we miss this?
Would it have made a difference? It would not have solved anything.
I think you're right.
We have nothing to gain by looking back. All we can do is look for it.
And there's only like 15 of them.
Plus mysterious armor dude.
Yeah. Or lady.
Thank you for calling me out on that, Coach. You're absolutely right.
So have you given any thought to what we should do when we find these people?
Around the time that you are asking that, you've been traveling for maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. It's hard to track time. It's dark. You can't see a lot, but definitely going for a while. And you're just like the rest of you are kind of blindly following Sora and Gravely through the woods. They seem to know what they're doing. And you're in kind of a canyon where there's kind of high walls on both sides. And it stands out as like, well, this is probably not a great place, and Maya specifically notices some movement up on top of one of the canyon walls.
Oh, hey, guys, look, up there. I think I saw some movement.
I don't see anything.
I don't see anything either.
I saw something move.
What's a movement?
It
We've
is when
talked about
something
this.
that would normally be still is not still.
Oh, right.
It goes like boom, 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 boom.
Oh, I thought you were speaking in a weird accent. Right.
What accent?
So if they're up there, how are we going to get up there? How did they get up there?
This
We're gonna
isn't
climb.
good. We're in the bottom of a canyon. They've got the high ground. God, this is how I lost my last party.
Nobody
Right.
believes Sora.
I don't need to hear about that.
Well, let's start climbing.
At this point, you're like, I mean, there's no reason that wouldn't be true, but like, you're assuming it's probably not true.
I would like to look for a convenient way up, or maybe like a rope that's been left there or something like that.
Yeah, so you kind of scan, you kind of like get down and like take stock of the situation and what's going on. You're already a little bit into the canyon before you kind of like stop and notice that. So the movement was somewhat ahead of you, and the path you're following goes kind of down the gully at the bottom of this canyon. And you don't see any like obvious way. There's no like ladders, there's no ropes, and there's no like sign of like if somebody scrambled up from where you were, like that was pretty impressive because it's not something you could just like hike up there.
This is a very good place for an ambush. Everyone be ready.
So I think I have something that might help here.
All right.
What is it, Gotch?
Danger sense. Coach has not got that danger sense.
Danger sense. Danger sense.
So growing up in the mines, I'm very familiar with rocks and stones and stonework. Would this kind of stonework on this hillside be steady and good enough for putting stakes in it or for climbing on? Is it more sandstone? Is it going to like give way as we try and climb it?
Are you saying all this that loud?
Yes. No, I'm just thinking it out loud is what I'm doing. I'm just kind of speaking this to myself against the wall. Oh, I wonder if it's sandstone. Let me
Be quiet.
Coach, gonna lick it. Give it a little lick. Well,
Yes, thinking. You need to let him
Decibels.
I'm just letting the universe speak to me
And
about
as
this.
you guys are assessing and looking around, like the answer to your question, looking at it is like it's not hard rock. It's like it's muddy. There's like plants into it. You could like with time and commitment scramble your way up there, but there'd be probably like a big gash of like dirt falling down and stuff. You're not seeing the traces of that. But also, as you consider and kind of talk to each other, yeah, it would take a while to climb. You'd slip down a few times and stuff like that. But as you guys consider and hang out a little bit, there's a big rumbling behind you, and two big rocks roll down from up at the top of the canyon down, and
danger sense. Danger. Now it's
Does
danger
that
sense
count
time.
if you sense it after the effect?
Well, no. Now I can use. Is it a dexterity save?
So they don't
avoid the
go.
rocks?
They don't go for you. They're not crushing rocks, but they roll down together and they block the path behind you. Generally, and from the tops of both canyons, you now see they're not really trying to conceal themselves. That several gnolls on each side of the tops of these canyons start shooting down arrows at you. So everybody make a dexterity save and roll initiative.
Danger sense.
I knew it.
So suddenly arrows rain down. Everybody rolled a dex save, and Coach and Gravely did really good. They deftly dodge out of the way. And Maya
I frickin' backflipped.
and Lyra did, yes, Gravely crit his dex save after earlier crit failing a perception check, so not as good. But he's in extremes today, and Maya and Lyra both get hit by an arrow. Lyra, you take 4 damage, and Maya, you take 3 damage.
But
And from the
says with her
other
best
side of
French
the
accent.
canyon, you hear a voice say,
We have you surrounded. Set down your weapons or perish.
but I don't want to.
You stupid.
Watch it. Careful.
Very well then. Continue the ambush.
Oh, darn it.
So they got some surprise arrows on you, and then we rolled initiative, and Gravely goes first. Gravely, what do you want to do?
I would like to wrap my rope that I have in my traveler's pack around the arrow, shoot it up on the opposite side of where I think the where I know the Gnolls were, to try to get like I want to like basically create kind of a rope to pull ourselves up.
So you're not aiming for a gnoll.
I'm not
you're
aiming for a gnoll.
for-
Yeah, I want to aim for like a tree or like something that's like kind of like if I have a grappling hook arrow. I don't know if I do or not.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that, and you definitely see a tree up there you can aim for. So roll an attack roll on the tree.
Just a regular attack.
You would be at that distance at disadvantage on something that moved, but for a tree, we'll nullify that out and just have it be a regular roll.
All right, 21.
Hit. All right, you have an arrow with a rope attached to it.
Hello, Knights of the Rolled Table. Thank you once again for listening. And we're going to do something a little bit different with the announcements today. It is part of our podcast mission statement, I guess, that we really want to be a resource for the community, not just entertainment, not just you listening to us, but we get to interact with you and support the tabletop role-playing game community in general. So as something new to the pod this week, we're going to be picking different, like once a week, pick something else in the community, a cool product, a cool book, a cool something that's out there, and tell you about it, give a little plug, and see if we can support all the great creators out there. And so today, as our first thing, I wanted to talk about the Uncaged Anthology. But first, I'm going to have to talk to you about what the DM's Guild is, because that's where Uncaged Anthology is available. So the DM's Guild is a really cool site, dmsguild.com. And it's basically a site where people can create their own supplemental material for D&D 5th edition. So you can go on to dmsguild.com, find lots of cool products. I should say this is not a paid advertisement. If you want to pay us for advertising, you can certainly get in contact with us about this. But this is not a paid advertisement. We're not being paid by Wizards of the Coast or DM's Guild or Uncaged Anthology. We just wanted to do a shout out with whoever's out there listening and let you know some other cool stuff. So that brings us to Uncaged Anthology. Let me read from their website. Uncaged is a collection of myth and folklore-themed adventures written for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Each original adventure subverts tropes around a female mythological character or monster, including hags, harpies, medusas, and much, much more. So basically, it's a whole bunch of adventures written by a whole bunch of awesome writers, and there's original art from a whole bunch of original writers, people like Ashley Warren, Jessica Markram, Lynn Meyer, and Elise Crettel, who I might be mispronouncing some of their names because I know them, I've been interacting with them through Twitter. And basically, it's a whole bunch of adventures at different levels that takes female monsters, mostly in Dungeons & Dragons, and gives them a story, gives them their own angle. And I think both supporting women in the tabletop realm and also this kind of idea of like bad guys are not necessarily, they have their own story. They have their own meaning. Things make sense from their point of view. And maybe the bad guys aren't actually as bad as you assumed in the first place, I think is something that is near and dear to me and my heart and the way I think. And I'm sure you'll hear that kind of like play out in the pod to some extent. So check out Uncaged Anthology. You can get it. There's actually Volume 2 just came out. I have a hard copy of Volume 1 on the way to me, but you can also download a PDF directly from the website and have that right away. So check out Volume 1 or Volume 2 in a beautiful hardback or in PDF form. And that's Uncaged Anthology. Every creature in the multiverse has a story to tell, even the monsters. All right, so also, I've been delving into the world of Twitter, which I haven't been active on very much. So if you'd like to follow me, that's at MFTZach, because I am a marriage and family therapist, and my name is Zach with an H, so at MFTZACH. And that's an account where I will post information about the podcast and also generally just stuff on the theme of the interaction between therapy and Dungeons & Dragons and other tabletop role-playing games. So I'd love to have you follow me there and connect with you guys there at MFTZACH. Also, the podcast is at Rolled Table on Twitter. Original art from Chris Daly is at Knights of the Rolled Table Podcast on Instagram. You can check out Chris's stuff at Daily Tunes RPG. And Weston's music, you can check him out at Make My Anthem. He did our theme. Also, if you would like to contact us about a cool product that you make that we might feature on the podcast, feel free to do it through any of those mediums I just described, or you can contact us by email at knightsoftherolledtable@gmail.com. All right, as always, please support us, spread the word. We gather up some more listeners every day, and we got to be able to keep doing that to keep making this. So spread the word, tweet about us, rate and review on Apple Podcasts. That's a big help if you can do that. And thank you very much. Here's the rest of the episode. Now go out and make life an adventure.
Which doesn't sound like the sturdiest situation, but that is...
Can I use my movement to start to climb said rope?
Yes. Roll. Let's see.
But you are rather small.
Go ahead and roll a... let's make it an acrobatics roll just to see... This is largely probably based on like how that rope holds.
Yep. That's pretty good. It's a 15.
All right. So Gravely makes it probably about in this move, maybe halfway up the side of the canyon on the right. So on your right, there's arrows coming down both from the right side.
Climb up the rope. We'll attack them from the other side.
Ooh, nice. All right, and then it's Maya's turn.
I'm gonna go ahead and for my movement I will follow gravely, but I'm also gonna go ahead and cast the silent image of myself next to where I am and leave her there.
Ooh, nice.
But she's gonna kind of run away like the other direction, so maybe some of the gnolls will be diverted over there, and she will also be in her underwear because that's how I roll.
Hold on, are you currently in your underwear? Or is just the silent image in her underwear?
Well, I feel like Maya would have eventually wound up in her underwear, but I guess fine.
Just
She'll be
randomly?
clothed.
Poof. I mean, it's nighttime. It's probably cold.
Fine, she can be wearing clothes.
I'm fine if the silent image is wearing underwear.
Everything is a protest. Okay.
It could technically still be a war protest. All right, so you're going to cast a silent image vaguely where you are and then try to sneak away and climb the rope. So make a stealth roll to see how successful the switcheroo is.
Oh, shoot. That's not great. So I'm going to actually use my luck feat one more time because that was a 3.
Okay.
And we're just blowing through those. Okay, 15 plus. So that's going to be 18 on my stealth.
18 stealth. So you luckily just catch the moonlight just right, and your silent image cast just ahead of you definitely keeps the attention of the incoming arrow fire. So you are able to climb up to right behind where Gravely is without having any of the archers follow you.
Gravely, you have good casts too.
Does she climb faster than me because I'm shorter and have little arms? Is she like climbing over me or like kind of just waiting, kind of going inch by inch, like faster?
I don't know. I feel like Gravely's probably a faster rope climber than Maya is, both for dexterity.
Not particularly.
He doesn't weigh as much, and I feel like he probably gets more.
He's pretty accurate.
Rope practice.
Yeah.
Whereas Maya does more drumming and painting with her free time.
Sometimes I drum on a rope.
Okay, there you go. Strum them. And you guys are going to take some arrow fire, those of you that they can still see. So 1 misses. Lyra. 1. Coach, what's your AC?
16.
Coach takes a hit by an arrow, but it's only 2 damage. And one more.
Not raging yet.
Fires out and just barely misses Gravely, who's climbing up. That was fired down at you from where you're climbing towards. And then it's Lyra's turn.
Lyra is going to run to the bottom of the rope because she intends to follow the other 2 up. But she won't do that right now. Instead, she's going to pull out a dagger. How close is the closest gnoll?
There's one right above me, or like up
the hill,
rope.
right?
At the top of the hill. She's going to try and throw her dagger.
Yeah.
Did you say you were climbing it already, or
No, not climbing yet. I run to where the rope is, but I don't start climbing. Can I do that?
You can throw a dagger. Also, you can throw a dagger at disadvantage because you're throwing it up against gravity. Throwing stuff back at somebody shooting arrows at you is never a bad idea. Just to disrupt them. Throwing a dagger up into the air is probably a pretty bad idea.
14.
You toss a dagger up there. It doesn't fly back down and impale any of your companions.
Oh, thank God.
It also doesn't seem like it hit anybody, but you can actually see from where it went up, you can see like what is presumably a gnoll kind of like stop shooting and kind of scurry to the side.
Dagger like float up and then just go back down.
Look how I'm going to move. And so... Are you climbing the rope behind them, or are you standing
Yes, climbing the rope.
Okay, so now 3 of you are hanging from the rope, and it's Coach's turn.
Coach, everybody looks down at Coach, and Coach is in all of his climbing kit gear. Just like suddenly, I'll go and use my action to just put on all my climbing, because I have a climber's kit. So I'll go and put all that on.
Does he say play on?
Play on! And then so I've got like boot tips and gloves and a harness and like little special pistons I can plug into the wall. I am like, pitons. And I'm ready to go. I'm just going to try and just start climbing is what I'm going to do. Just try and free
Without
solo
the rope,
climbing.
just
Yeah,
like pickaxe your way up there.
free solo climbing up this thing.
Because he's free.
All right, I guess roll an athletics check.
The one thing I'm good at. While I yodel up the hill, yes. 16.
Nice. All right. Well, so
I'm like going faster than you guys are.
Maya is. She's into it.
I mean, given that I guess it took Gravy a little time to like shoot the arrow, like you're climbing up there and you're like roughly like next to them and they're all just like staring at you. Like, what are you doing? All right, so now you're all on the side of this mountain with archers on above you and also behind you, and whoever yelled at you farther down the canyon. And actually, Sora is with you, and so Sora did not go climbing. Sora pulled out her longbow and fired off 2 shots, and one doesn't seem to hit anybody, and one seems to peg one of the gnolls that are up there out of sight. And then a couple more arrows come down. And we're going to roll 1. Hits Coach.
Again.
1 damage.
1 damage.
And 1 goes towards Silent Image Maya. And it doesn't hurt Silent Image Maya because she's an illusion unknown to them.
She just giggles like, ooh.
My
Quietly,
button.
silently,
image.
because it's silent.
She starts just dancing.
Yes.
She's got a fan dance.
Like she's into it. All right. So Silent Image Maya is working pretty well, distracting to the otherwise very obvious target of you guys all like climbing up the side of this canyon.
I've just got arrows poking out of me every which way.
And we're back to Gravely.
So we're climbing up the rope, and there are gnolls shooting down from us from the other side.
Yeah.
I'm going to lock my legs, lean back, upside down with the bow and arrow, and shoot at them.
All right.
Like, hold on!
Oh my
Backwards
god.
lean, and just...
Sitting
We've
upside down.
established, like, in the Basilisk Cave, that Gravely has an odd skill for, like, shooting arrows behind him. So go ahead. Let's
I'm
roll
not shooting,
again with...
He's doing
I'm
like
doing
No,
it back.
oh yeah, not behind your shoulders, just hanging upside down.
upside
from
down
a
and
rope
shooting.
with people behind you. I'm going to give you disadvantage on that. Go ahead and take
All right.
another arrow shot.
Okay. Oh, I rolled 27 and 16.
16 is good enough. So roll some damage on a
Okay.
gnoll over there.
Are gnolls considered humanoids?
Yes.
Yeah.
oh no.
That's 13, and then was this one already hurt?
No.
Okay, 13 damage.
So you see a gnoll over there, and you, when you go look over there, you see at least 3 gnolls on that side shooting at you, and you successfully hit the one in the middle. And then it's Maya's turn. So are you continuing to climb also?
Yeah, and I'll ab crunch and then climb up.
Okay, so with the rest of that roll, you're able to get to the top of the canyon, and up there you see 2 gnolls to your right, 2 gnolls to the left, in addition to the
middle.
ones that are across on the other side.
Great.
And it's
Hello,
Maya's turn.
boys.
Maya, upon seeing that Sora has not joined us on the rope, is going to call down to her and say, Sora, why are you not coming up? It is not safe for you to be alone down there.
She says, "I'll be fine. Do your thing." And she's just like firing out. She's looking pretty like Sora is clearly a competent warrior. Probably more competent than you guys are, just based on like how quickly she goes into
This is true, but I
battle
feel like
stance.
she's kind of setting herself up to be a martyr, and Maya is not on board with that. So while climbing, I'm going to go ahead and give up my silent image, as cool as it is, and I'm going to cast suggestion on Sora to get her to climb the rope with us.
You're going to try to make Sora climb the rope. All right, so is that a
Don't
wisdom
tell me
save?
how to live my life, Zach.
You're telling Sora how to live her life. Is that a wisdom save for her?
It is, yes, a wisdom save.
All right.
And my instruction for her is to come with us.
All right, here we go.
Ooh, she's going to hate me.
She is going to hate you because she crit fail a wisdom save. So she hangs her bow
Tell me
behind
what to
her.
do. Okay, you can tell me.
She hangs her bow behind her and like strings it over her shoulder, and she climbs up the rope behind you.
And I'm going to continue climbing up then.
Okay. And
Good idea, Sora.
all right, and then you have some more gnolls are going to rain down attacks. 1 misses. 1 hits Sora. 4.
Maybe not so good.
7 damage.
Ooh, sorry.
And another
a
one
big girl,
goes
she
at
can take
Coach and also misses Coach. Woo! And it's Lyra's turn.
I'm just collecting arrows as I go up.
So Lyra keeps climbing up the rope. Are the gnolls close enough to thunderclap?
No, also you don't get to choose who you thunderclap. So if you cast thunderclap while climbing a rope
all
with
just
your
fall
friends around it would be a bad idea.
Okay. Well, I've only got my
You do have movement-wise, you can use your movement to get up where Gravely is and then do some damage.
that is what I'm going to do.
All right.
Help me.
So you climb up dexterously right behind Gravely, and you see the same 2 gnolls to your guys' left and 2 to the right, and at least 3 across the canyon.
I go to my closest gnoll and I pull out my short sword.
All right, roll an attack, I assume.
Yes.
Do you want to cast Hex on him?
Yes.
All right. So what's your attack?
13.
You miss.
So nonchalant.
Do you want to do an offhand short sword attack?
Yes.
Roll an attack for that.
Yes. 25.
All right. Well, that's going to hit.
It's a natural 20 is really what it is.
It's a natural 20.
So you're going to roll a d6 2 times because it was a critical hit.
Critical, well done. Critical.
Bye, Gnoll.
Very nice.
3
Oh my gosh, you guys, we get to use more Gnoll puns.
Oh, no.
and 4.
Oh, no.
7 total.
I think probably your Hex would work on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever you hit.
I don't know if it would work twice in a turn, but you missed the first time. So you're going to roll 2 more d6 altogether.
1. 2.
So 9 damage altogether. You miss with 1 short sword and it ducks under it, but then you catch it with the other one and cut it really good. And it growls and snarls at you as it starts to bleed. And now it's Coach's turn. Coach, who is stuck to the side of the mountain.
Just gonna keep climbing up that side of that mountain again, kind of kicking my shoes in, and my calves are looking quite good. In fact,
Oh, yeah.
as I'm kicking into the stone, the arrow that was stuck into my back calf pops out just from the sheer muscly goodness.
It's so tense in there that it can't even fit.
And I'm gonna get up to the hopefully the top.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
And I'm gonna run over to a gnoll and grab it and try and throw it off the ledge.
All right, we'll do a athletics contest for that.
Oh, I'm raging. I'm gonna rage now.
Oh, all right.
Bonus action to
So
rage
does that give you advantage on
my
things like
any
throwing
strength,
gnolls off of
anything?
cliffs?
Oh yeah, it would be if I'm rolling my athletics.
Yeah. All right.
Anything strength related. Are we doing like a grapple
Throwing
contest?
off of cliff.
I don't know how you want to run this, DM.
Yeah, let's just do an athletics contest.
Oh, I have advantage. Thank goodness. I rolled a natural one. Ooh, 15 total.
Against this Gnoll's 14. So, like, you grab, you struggle, you do a quick move. Coach has got that low center of gravity that lets you, like, sweep the leg and just, like, send this
With my
Gnoll
stubby
flying
legs.
off the edge of the cliff. And that Gnoll falls to the bottom. And
Maya has produced a fan. And it's just fanning herself like,
Null pun. Null you later.
Make sure when you hit the bottom, stop, drop, and null.
That's good, though.
we're getting thin. We're getting thin.
Yeah, we're running out of null puns.
All right, so that's 1 Gnoll down. The ones across the way are going to take some shots at you. So 1 is a hit on Coach. Deduct another 3 damage, halved, I guess, for raging.
2-1.
So
Yep.
whatever that is. Sora takes another hit.
Jeez.
5 from her, and another one's
Lots
going
of
to
Sora
shoot
puns.
at Maya, and Maya takes a hit. And that is 6. Maya deducts 6, and then it is
The DM is currently playing a game against himself.
yeah.
Where only he can win and lose.
So all right, so now it's Sora's turn in the order. Who suggested, like, how long does that last?
Suggestion?
Until she completes what you asked her to do, right?
That's a
So what
minute.
did you tell her to do?
I told her to follow us, to stay
Climb
with
up
us.
the rope.
All right, so with the rest of her movement, she will successfully get to the top of the rope and glare. Like, how dare you? And she does one of those things where, like, she takes the arrow, like she's going to shoot you with it, and you can tell she's, like, mentally shooting you with it, but she shoots the gnoll behind you instead.
Maya just smiles.
And
As the arrow goes by.
so the gnoll that Lyra hit already once and was a little bit damaged takes an arrow like right in the eye, shot like very like down the line, right past Maya, right over Lyra's shoulder, and that gnoll falls over dead.
She's hate shooting. That a
Oh, did you
Nolan
laugh?
one.
A Nolan one.
Oh, that's good. Gnoll scrubs.
We don't want
Gnoll scrubs.
And you hear so that voice from the bottom at the beginning, you hear yelling out,
They're climbing. Don't let them climb, you morons. Throw them off or shoot them. Just shoot them, idiots.
Did they say blow us up?
Blow them off.
Oh,
It was
off.
coming from the bottom of the canyon?
yeah, that initial voice was coming from the other end of the canyon somewhere, which is kind of echoey. It was hard to pinpoint. You couldn't see anybody over there.
Behind the boulder that was shot.
The boulder's behind you, so that voice is farther down the road,
Oh, okay.
or the path in the
Gotcha.
way in the direction that you were going. And it's back to Gravely.
All right. So there were 2 and 2. Has that changed?
Yeah, so now there's only 2 because Coach threw one off of the cliff.
Yeah,
and,
he did.
Lyra and Sora collectively took out another one, so there's only 2 up there with you right now.
On which side?
They're both on your right.
Okay, I'm going to go to the left then, and I will turn around and
Gravely, you
shoot.
coward. No, wait.
I'm going to shoot the ones across the canyon. 'Cause
Okay.
There are some across the canyon still? Mm-hmm. There's like 2 more, right? Or 3 more, because...
So that's going to be more than the 30-foot longbow distance, so roll that with disadvantage.
What?
Longbow has like 80 feet.
No.
Okay. Am I thinking the short bow numbers?
Longbow has a range of 150 feet,
And then like goes out to like
and then
400 or something.
600.
600. Jeez.
Okay, well, damn, that's impressive.
Within 600 feet.
That's why it's called a longbow, because it
Okay.
goes a long way.
Well, go ahead and roll just regular Z's.
Bow puns.
For shooting one of those
Not
knolls.
really.
That's a natural 20.
Hey,
It's
You hit it. Roll presumably a lot of damage.
he's a natural 20.
Okay.
What'd you rate him on a 1 to 10? A 20.
20.
18 is the one I hit.
Is not injured. I don't think
Okay,
any of those guys
so
over there are
18.
injured yet. Well, maybe one is.
Jeez.
So we'll go ahead and say you hit the one that was already injured, and
Okay.
it'll go down with that.
Oh, okay.
And
Takes an additional 8 damage of being dead.
Dead damage.
Yeah.
and Maya's turn.
Product?
Maya is going to go ahead and there's still one Gnoll standing, correct?
There's 2 on your side.
Just kidding. There's 2. So the one, are either of them hit?
No.
No.
I can do it to you
Yeah,
guys.
the conversion.
No.
You're better than that.
I know.
You're better than that.
Noli's
No, I'm
So-
not. No.
She's just gonna, I'm just gonna go ahead and Eldritch Blast the one, the one of them. The one closest
One that's
to
up
me.
there? Okay.
Sure. Yep.
Roll out a deck.
Yes.
Finger guns.
That's a 5, so it's a 10.
Miss.
Yep. Cool. And then she's gonna go, Coach is up, right?
Nope.
Just kidding.
That Gnoll is up. So guess what? It's going to come on over to you.
I didn't get to move.
You can move.
I'm gonna move behind Gravely.
All right. Well, it's going to come on over to Gravely then. And it's going to snarl and try to bite him and miss. And it's going to strike with an axe that it has. And it's going to hit with that.
Ouch.
And Gravely will take 5 damage from that Gnoll. snarling and tearing at him, and the other Gnoll that's up there will...
No likey.
They're just like the easiest creatures to pun. The other Gnoll up there will say, Coach is up there. Let's see, that's a miss on a bite and an attack with his spear. And Coach will take 9 damage. 9 from his spear attack, just like Coach is standing still proudly looking down at the Gnoll he just threw out of there and got speared in the side.
Coach, your legs are bleeding.
And that brings us to Lyra. And you can notice down into the canyon, you can see some Gnolls down there kind of coming in from the other side of the canyon. Probably they were intending to ambush you down at the bottom, and now they're kind of like scrambling around. Maybe some of them are getting bows out to try to shoot up at you, but you've definitely like disrupted their ambush here. And Lyra's turn.
My finger spell? Is that like a finger? Or is it a hand or what is it?
Yeah, the relic you took.
We're wandering.
Let you disguise yourself. Yeah.
I thought I could poke someone in the eye. Okay.
with the ancient relic. Boink.
Well, I'm going to try and jump behind the closest Gnoll to me and stab him in the back with my short sword.
Okay. So those Gnolls just came over to attack while they were chasing Maya, and then she hid behind Gravely, and then they hit Gravely. So you can get around behind that one, and so roll.
You hid behind Gravely? How?
She just ran behind him.
I'm not that big.
Oh, no?
I'm like 5 feet.
Used him as a distraction.
I'm 3 feet.
But you're
19?
like wider.
Hit. So you're going to roll your 3d6 altogether with Hex and Sneak Attack.
Ooh, 6.
Oh, no.
6? Ooh. One more for
Make
the
it
devils.
dink that thing again. That was
Triple.
Good.
Roll of the devil.
6.
From the bowels of
I'm sorry.
The Inferno.
Yes, all right. So that is like max damage. Pretty impressive. Lyra's on a roll, and that Gnoll goes down.
His blood squirts all over me, and I'm just like, yeah.
Yes, all over.
Aiden Gumbel.
Feels so good. So good.
Woo! All right, so there's
Gravely kind of like looks at this and kind of cocks his head a little bit, thinking about
She
choices.
is a tiefling. Like, you know that.
I know.
You're leaning into that.
Yeah, lean into that, girl.
All right, so there's one Gnoll up there with you guys, and there's still arrows coming out from the other side, and these other Gnolls down at the bottom, and it's Coach's turn.
You just stabbed my lats. And he's going to turn around and he's going to pull out both of his warhammers and he's just going to wreck this fool.
Lats are a muscle.
In the back. Because I was stabbed in the back.
Did you just like Google all of the muscles?
Stop it.
Is that like
I definitely do not have a Safari page open to all the different major muscle groups.
I'm seeing this right now.
Here we go. Attack number 1. Okay.
It's called backstory.
Backstory. That's a 17 to hit.
Weston has a 5-page backstory, and it's just like individual like history of each of
muscle
Coach's
charts and
muscles.
anatomy reference.
He tracks his
His
lactic
workout
acid.
regimen,
I'm like 3 semesters for my MD right now. That's really what's happening.
significant past injuries that Coach has sustained.
See, games can help you learn.
So that is going to be 10 damage. I'm guessing a 17 hits.
Yes.
And that is a 24. So 9 damage on the second roll.
So were those 2 separate attacks?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that Gnoll takes
17 and 24.
a hammer from each side and just like smashes him into Gnoll thingness.
Ooh.
Hey.
There's no place like home.
Oh, got so many more Gnolls.
Lats.
All right, so that Gnoll goes down, and you guys are now alone on your side of the canyon with a bunch of frustrated Gnolls looking up at you. All right, so some more arrows are coming across the way. You guys are able to take stock of across the way. There are some more Gnolls that you have not seen, and they're all shooting at you. So there's 4 visible that you can see over there, not counting one that Gravely already took out. And most of them miss with your arrows, but there is one that crit on Coach.
Yes.
Coach. So excited.
Coach don't care.
For 11 damage.
Oh, my halved 5.
Lucky.
Rage.
So Coach is taking some serious damage. Sora's also taking some serious damage. You guys are up there, and now it is Sora's turn, and she takes a moment to say to Maya, "Do not ever do that to me again."
I am sorry. I just wanted to make sure that your daughter had a mother to come home to.
And she is already shooting arrows back down towards the Gnolls, and she misses once and hits another one. There's kind of a mass of Gnolls down there. Maybe there's like 5 or 6. Hard to tell what's going on because it's dark and they're moving around. There's shadows down in the bottom of the canyon, but you can tell at least one of them hit. And we're back to Gravely in the order, but what do you guys want to do kind of tactically now that you're up here on your own with Gnolls all over the place?
So I've seen this before, and Coach is gathering like small rocks to try and punt them with his warhammers down the canyon at the Gnolls that are down at the bottom.
Okay.
So that's what he's tactically doing.
So you're looking around for
Tactical
rocks
golf balls
to roll.
Yes.
Which he has seen in the past, like 30 seconds ago when they rolled down some.
All the sports and all the things I'm into. Yeah.
There are 4 across the canyon, and how many in the canyon?
You can't quite see, but it looks like, between 6 and 10-ish, kind of moving around in the shadows down there.
I think we should run.
Can we see anything like where we're at up top, like anywhere that we could take cover or escape to?
Yes, because there's like kind of a plain up there. It's not like on like a ledge up there. So there's territory. You kind of just back up and not be in the canyon exactly, except that there's not really a route down necessarily to the path that you were following. So
Can we run in the same direction as the path we were going, but along the top of the canyon?
a little bit, and then the canyon kind of turns off. I mean, you can't see everything, but like it looks like you couldn't get that far without kind of like going back down into the canyon in that direction. Right. On that side. So whereas you could kind of just like walk away from the battle, you'd also be like essentially something that's very much on Sora's mind and probably that you're all aware of is like every moment spent here is like time that
Sindle's getting
you're not following Sindle.
So the direction that we've kind of moved towards is away from where we believe Sindle to be.
When you climbed up?
Yeah.
You just kind of climbed up parallel. So you're standing above essentially where you were. Mm-hmm. But you need to move towards like the path that you were following basically goes through this like massive Gnolls and whoever was just yelling at you.
It's a better tactical standpoint to be up here, so I say we take him out and then we'll get back down in the canyon and continue our journey. But first we have to take these guys out.
And as you are kind of like whispering and plotting to each other a little bit and hearing Gnolls down in the canyon kind of like move around, and you still hear that voice kind of like yelling at them angrily, just generally like not like super confident, just like tactics, but just like, just go get them, do something. This is not how this was supposed to go. I had such a good plan. So that's going on, but also across the way, you notice while you're talking, a Gnoll over there goes like flying over the side, Coach style, and plummeting down into the canyon, and then another one, and you look across over there, and you see an orc waving at you. And,
I love these guys.
Is it one of our friends?
There's a couple orcs over there, and they're like, "Hey, how you doing?" And you're pretty sure at a distance that it's Manx and his friends that you met earlier in the camp.
It's your recruits.
Did you guys get lost? It's like the other
He
way.
holds up the little card you gave him. It was like, we don't know. It's not. We're not sure
it was your fourth left, not your third left.
Hey, could you keep throwing those Gnolls while you guys discuss?
Oh, yeah,
Thanks.
sorry.
No
And another
worries.
one gets
And
thrown.
try to hit the other Gnolls that are down. Oh, try to hit the other Gnolls that are down there.
I was like, okay. You see a couple of them. There's one Gnoll left up there, and like two of them like grab an arm each and try to kind of like heft him over towards the Gnolls, but he falls pretty short. They're not that far.
I'll shoot one of the. I'll cast Hail of Thorns.
Ooh.
Got one more slot. And I will shoot at least two I don't know, a bunch of gnolls that are, if they're close to each other?
Definitely that mass down there is close to each other, and down you have the high ground.
Great, I will shoot them with my longbow.
It's very important, I hear.
So bad.
Oh, so bad.
That's an 18 to hit.
All right, so when you cast Hail of Thorns and it sprays out and hits a bunch of people, they take all of your damage modifiers, Horde Breaker and whatever, or Colossus Slayer, or just the initial one.
The one I hit, the target of my attack takes everything, and then everybody else takes D10. Oh, they have to make a dexterity save, and if they fail, then they take D10 or half on a successful save.
All right, so I'm going to roll 2 dexterity saves for fairness, because I don't want to roll 10 dexterity saves, but I don't want to just have be pass or fail. And I rolled a 3 and a 16, so we'll say half of them take the full damage.
Okay, so the one I hit takes 12.
Okay.
The ones that failed take 6, and then the ones that succeeded take 3.
Okay. Toying that Hail of Thorns down there, and it definitely, you can see it causing a lot of chaos amongst them, and the gnolls all you hear a lot of general gnoll noises that I'm getting shot by.
You've been practicing.
Getting shot by thorns, yes. Every morning in the mirror I do my gnoll noises. So I'm all prepped up for the gnoll war. Is that your turn?
Yes.
Cool. Well used.
I will also, I'd like to run further down as far as I can. I have 25 feet of movement to try to see whoever's yelling down there.
Yeah. So you can see a figure in armor, full plate armor and a big helmet with horns on it, kind of standing to the back of all these gnolls. It's clearly the person that's been yelling at them.
I'll try to duck down so he doesn't see me, lie down or something.
Okay. Maya's turn.
I'm confused as to what's going on right now.
Your friends the orcs, are across the way. Now alone on the other ledge. You guys are alone on your side of the ledge, and down in the canyon is a bunch of gnolls with thorns in them and a big dude in armor.
I'm going to yell at the orcs. Have you seen a little girl? The orcs?
Oh, the orcs. No. Yeah. So many things. So down at the gnolls there, some of them are trying to claw their way up on you, and some of them are starting to get some arrows at the ready.
I'll get to that.
But the orcs say, no. Up here?
You are no help to me.
Okay, sorry.
So they're coming up. They're near us now?
They're not near you, but some of them are trying to climb and some of them are getting ready to shoot.
Okay. Well, whichever one looks like it's the most injured, if there is one, I'm going to go ahead and shoot my little eldritch blast at them.
Roll.
Hopefully I do better this time. That's a 6, so that's a 21 to hit.
Hit.
Yes. Okay. Ooh, 18.
18 damage?
Yeah.
Dang. All right, well, that no goes down.
Yay!
There's still a bunch down there, but you hear, with this clearly turning badly and the orcs turning up on the other side, you hear the dude down there in armor say, just retreat, let's go, move out, let's go. And they all kind of, actually specifically, you really see when he gives that order, all the gnolls stop, not in a very gnoll-like fashion, and turn towards him immediately, kind of zonked out a little bit, and just immediately go walking down the canyon.
How far away is he?
The dude in armor?
Yeah. Can I see him?
Yeah, you can see where he is. He's probably, 70 or 80 feet out there.
Okay.
Between being significantly below you and farther down the canyon.
Okay.
The distance I just said is farther than whatever Maya needed to do, apparently.
But I will yell at him and say, we should talk. I feel like we have some communication issues, and if we just talk about our feelings, perhaps we can come to an agreement.
Okay, good talk. Bye.
That's the end of my turn.
It's Lyra's turn in initiative. So they're moving out, and you've got your orc friends that have appeared. And so, what do you guys want to do from there?
Well, we need to follow them.
Yeah, I agree.
And also, you guys need to head up the mountain because that's not this isn't the right way.
But Coach, they can help us.
Yeah, we need some muscle in this group.
Yeah, we do.
Excuse me.
Oh, come on. We can all survive off nice lats.
You haven't seen these lats.
I have.
But I agree. I think the orcs could be very helpful. That's all I'm saying.
I agree, Coach.
What are you guys doing here?
Well, we were trying to go to the mines. It turns out this is not a very good map. So, if you could maybe redirect us or...
I think you are going to help us.
Yeah, they're actually in this direction. We're heading the same way. We can kind of tell you which way to go.
So if you guys all sort of like slide back down to the path and...
we can get back down the rope.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you guys go down and you meet the orcs down there too, and they basically recount to you that like
you'll never believe it. We're supposed to be paid 2 bags of 15 gold pieces for our final guard duties, and they stiffed us. So it's a good thing we found these gnolls. We were going to teach them a lesson.
You know, some people have no integrity these days. Ugh.
Gnoll integrity.
And you guys, it's a good thing. It's okay if they get away from us a little bit because, look, we have a map. It was right here on the table next to where our gold was supposed to be.
and he unrolls one of the maps that was on the table in the tent back at the war camp. And not the one of Respite, but a different map shows kind of a general lines and paths of the area. And there's sort of directions and arrows towards a specific area that seems to be in the general direction you're going that has a big circle on it with swirly lines.
Coach is going to ignore all the swirly lines and try and point out exactly where the mine is. Oh, this is perfect. And he's gonna try and like, well, you see these little rivers over here.
Ignore all of this.